On to you, Geminis, you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and then you have the Two of Wands. So these three cards right here for you are about you, you Geminis, very much so, not really being bothered with the attempted dysfunction that some people would put into your life. You tried to get to know somebody recently. They are very hard-headed. It went terribly. The person is very stubborn, not really willing to open up. Immediately they tried to get you to spend a lot of money, and you Geminis essentially wasn't going for it. Some of you Geminis may have called off the date, right? Says the Knight of Pentacles. Some of you Geminis may have called off the date right then and there. Y'all, things was already going a very messed up way, or it could have been even halfway decent at the very least. But you just saw where it was going to go, and you Geminis was like, nah. Now, you Geminis are a zodiac sign that will let a person know, nah, this ain't going what I wanted it to go. This is not going how I thought it would go. Where I wanted it to go, I'm out. Gemini, y'all are the type. Y'all are the type to actually speak up and say something. So kudos for you. You Geminis actually did do that. You did speak up. And because you did, this person is shocked because of it. Because this person is like, wow, you know, they expected you to again spend, and you Geminis are like, nah. You know, the Nine of Pentacles, you keeping your money in your pocket, but it's not even about the money. It's about you not doing anything that you're uncomfortable with. When y'all are earlier on, like, you don't know these people, so you understand that you're not going to put yourself at the mercy of what other people want, especially not so early on, right? Maybe later on in a relationship, when it becomes more of a position of you kind of have to compromise because this person put so much value into you. It's like, okay, you know, this person actually does have say so. They do have leverage. Right? No, this is very early on, and they talking like this, they acting like this. Nah. The Knight of Swords and the Ten of Cups represents, so like I said, you let them know. And the Ten of Cups, you decided to end the connection that you had between them right then and there. Excuse me. Because you Gemini saw what type of time this person was on. They're coming in very entitled, acting like you need to do this and do that. And the truth is, you Geminis knew what time it was. You don't need to do anything that you don't want to do. So once again, I can't stress this enough, this person was very shocked, is very shocked, and was at the fact that you Geminis actually stood up for yourselves. You Geminis actually said, you know what? You're not going to hang around them. You're going to stay away from them. You Geminis are very much so, you respect yourself now. And so because of the fact that you respect yourself, a lot of you Geminis are in a situation where you left them alone, okay? Now, and the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, right? They're still very much so interested in you. So they may still try to contact you, say what's up to you and everything like that, right? Reach out or whatnot, you know, ignoring that, sweeping that up underneath the rug. But the Three of Pentacles, you Geminis don't care about whether or not they contact you. You'd rather them not. As a matter of fact, if you had to choose, you would rather them not, because you don't want to have anything to do with individuals that come into your life and they're not right for you. That's a person that already showed you if they were a hyena or a lion, right? Or / lioness, right? They're a hyena. Because how they just gonna come into your life and tell you Geminis how to spend your money, or maybe they may spend some money on you but then they're like, oh, well, you owe me a nightcap. And you Gemini's like, you're not doing that, right? You're not doing any of that. And this is why I'm so opposed to exorbitant amounts of money being spent just in a general sense when it comes to relationships, but especially on the first date, especially when not even that, the first couple, first few, you know, I like I said before, all this exorbitant amounts of money, I'm perturbed by that to a certain extent because I'd rather invest it. Like there's better things that you could really do. There's stocks that pay you dividends every month. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that's a dub. That's a dub for me. But, you know, that whole mentality that people have, where it's like when money is being spent, but then at the same time, nobody should try to obligate another person to spend what's in their pocket at the same time, right? So it's a two-way street where I don't suggest that happen, right? Again, I'm solution orientated. So the best way to get around that, and this is why I keep talking about it, is the 50-50. Because on one hand, some people feel like, oh, well, you asked me out. And we're going to talk about that. And then on the other hand, it's like, okay, well, you got me out here trying to spend all of this on you, but you're so entitled and I don't know you. So I want to get something. I want to start something. I want to get something established as soon as possible. Now, this ideology is wrong, but at the same time, it takes two. Because on the one hand, the one side has to, because both sides do this, but on the other hand, on one hand, one side has to understand you're an adult, and this ideology of somebody, this entitlement, you got to get over that. Look, part of learning how to be an adult is understanding that people don't owe you anything. Why is it that you think that I'm so appreciative of y'all subscribing and liking and really helping to grow my channel and everything like that? Because I understand that y'all do not have to be here. So it's even more personal, especially when it's money on the line, because you can't, because on that side, you look wild trying to tell another person with the money that's in their pocket how to spend it. That's why that mentality is wild. That's whacked out. But then on the other hand, right? On the other hand, the mentality of, because you paid this person is obligated to do that. That makes it transactional. You don't want a transactional relationship, because that's not the original intent of why you came to the date in the first place. So I'm glad that you Geminis actually saw where this was going, and you saw how sleazy this is, and you decided to actually stay away from this. The Five of Cups, the Empress, and the Six of Wands represents you Geminis just moving forward and still being connected to the source, your source, whatever it is, religion, spirituality, and just sticking to it. And I'm glad that you Geminis actually are able to stick to this, because again, your standards are concrete. Your standards are set in place. You have standards, and your standards are concrete and in place because you know why. Because it's to put the dignity back in dating, because dating nowadays, if you can call it that, doesn't really have integrity. It doesn't have dignity. Both sides, one side is trying to get money, the other side is trying to get the body. That one side trying to get the body is putting their whole identity of who they are and their whole value of being alive on whether or not they could spend the night with a person. The other side trying to fleece the other side for everything financially they could get, while at the same time, that's not even really what they want, being unhappy even though they're fleecing. Because let me chill off from that before I start talking some game, because I've never met a single person. I've never met a single person, no exception. I've never met a single person who wasn't born with my anatomy, if you know what I mean. I can't say the word, but wasn't born with my anatomy, that gains the money just so, without the relationship, that was happy. Even if they accepting the money, that's still not really making them smile. That's still not what it is that they even really want. So this is what I mean when I say both sides got to knock it off with this. So I'm, again, much respect for you Geminis, and two of you Geminis, because you Geminis are actually striving to put the integrity, put the dignity back into relationships, back into dating, and y'all deserve a lot of respect for it. So let's clarify these Six of Wands. I've seen so many people give their significant other money. Let me not even get into that. You have the Four of Cups. To clarify the Six of Wands, you have the Four of Cups, the Justice, the Three of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and then you have the Nine of Wands to clarify the Six of Wands. So the Four of Cups, the Justice, and the Three of Swords right here, they're heartbroken. But you Geminis are doing what's right. You're not gonna get to know somebody and be in a relationship with somebody where all it is that they want to do is just use you like that. That's lame. The Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands speaks to how you Geminis are very much so happy with your decision, because you still have your self-respect. The Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands, they have to feel terrible about themselves. But you Geminis don't.